Good afternoon, morning, evening, wherever you are in the world. It's the Foolish Tank Show. Good morning, Tank, apparently. Um, or possibly close to good night for you.
Yeah, this is the evening time for me. I've had John hours this morning. Nick hours. I've been up since like 5.
Yeah, with my heavy programming, I've been like going to sleep and waking up at like 8 p.m. and then staying up until like right now for today. Um,
Yeah, I usually go to bed about 8 sometimes. 9:30 last night. I made it up late.
I work the best in the wee hours of the night, so I've been getting some good programming out on the Crypto Prevent 8, so hopefully we'll be seeing that one go into beta testing here shortly.
Woohoo!
Like I told Johnny in the chat, we're working on the installation part of it, which is just as complicated as the update part of it appears to be. So still have a little bit to go on that, but I think it'll be nice. And I've been beta testing it as I go along, testing but only in one OS, only on one processor architecture. So I'm sure there will be some bugs we'll have to squash out, and then it'll finally be ready for release, and we'll be able to update through the Crypto Prevent update system. So everyone that's been patiently waiting for it, I feel like you will feel the wait was worth it. It's going to look really nice and have some new features, like the folder watch especially is going to be awesome. Quarantining files based off the hash definition list, so you don't have to use that wonky program filtering beta module anymore. You still can if you want to, but some legitimate apps don't like being launched that way. So I think folder watch is definitely going to end up taking its place, and all the other protections will be there, plus we'll be adding a whole lot more protections to it even, so all kinds of goodness on that. We had a status update from Nick. I don't think he's going to be joining us today, but he said he got some good kill 'em all work done this morning and is working on the de-uninstaller rescripting phase side of it and doing some nice improvements on that. So hopefully we'll be seeing beta testing of that shortly as well. And today we got Proctor is going to be doing an overview of Kodi. We got a little bit into it with Michael on Tuesday, but because of some technical difficulties and not being able to really get in depth on it, Proctor's played around with it and going to dive a little bit more into the details there. And then I have alternative, basically it's like an alternative interface. It's the same base OS, I think. So I'll show that running off the Raspberry Pi. And yeah, if you want to take it away, Proctor.
Awesome.
All right, Michael, I'm going to start by showing how to install repositories. You had recommended the Super Repo repository.
Yeah, I'm just in general, but I mean, obviously, you just want access to some additional things that maybe aren't available in the quote-unquote official repositories. I'm not particularly talking about any particular one in there because, like I said, this is sort of content very much like Brantley's previous show about torrents. It could be content you're not really sure where it's from, so be careful about that part.
Right. I've already launched. We already went through the installation process, so I'm not going to do that again. I've launched Kodi, and to install a repository, slide over to System.
You want to share your screen, or?
Oh shoot! I thought I was. Sorry.
Such language.
Okay,
right.
guys. Yeah, let's keep
it. All right, here's Kodi.
Okay, you may want to go full screen to give everyone a better appreciation of its capabilities. Yeah.
Much nicer.
And again, this is really designed to be used with a remote control, not so much with a mouse. Okay, particularly, a mouse from a virtual environment. You're typically not going to be running Kodi from a virtual environment. You wouldn't want to because of its ability. It needs to be able to access your hardware to do the video acceleration, do decoding of Blu-ray material, and other types of stuff. Other types of content, high-definition content.
Proctor,
It's a little quirky at full screen, but I think I can handle it.
I was going to say, I think if you turn off the USB interface and make it actually capture the mouse, you'd probably be better off there. I think you have to shut down the machine.
Yeah, you have to shut down the machine.
I think I can deal with it.
All right.
We'll click on System, then open up.
You can also use the keyboard arrows. Back.
Yeah. Well, I did note that some of the instructions online vary a little bit different from the installation that I have.
Well, you understand that some of those installation instructions that I had posted the other day apply to way back to Gotham. Now, you're talking about the Super Repo in particular, correct?
Yeah, Super Repo in particular.
Yeah, so some of those apply back to Gotham. Now, I don't know if everyone knows out there, but Kodi, each release goes by a letter of the alphabet, and they're currently up to Isengard version 15.2. That's the official release. The next one is going to be version 16, and that's going to be Jarvis. And so you want to get the one that's appropriate. But anyway, the instructions were written a while back, and he hasn't updated them. The guy hasn't updated them to include the newer revisions, the screenshots of the newer revisions. So there are, as he noted, some small discrepancies between what you see on that page, that link page that shows you how to install Super Repo. But it's still essentially effective, and I'm glad that Johnny is here because she actually went through the process on her own system with Kodi yesterday and was able to get it to work, even using the pre-release Jarvis code. So that I thought was significant as well. Sorry, you go ahead.
Cool. All right, we go to System and then File Manager and add source. So double click. Where it says none, I am going to paste in the link to the Super Repo.
You can almost memorize it, guys. It's very short.
It's pretty easy.
And you want to put in links to as much as possible. Proctor.
Oh yeah, for anyone out there, if you're watching on YouTube or Google+, join us at www.foolishtechshow.com or foolishit.com/live, and you can join our IRC chat there and talk with us and ask us questions, do the thing.
Oh, Undertaker's here with us. Nice.
Yeah, I just posted a link in the IRC chat that gives instructions for how to install Kodi and the repositories and the add-ons.
Excellent. Thank you, Proctor.
The instructions vary a little different based on what version of Kodi you have, but it's still, you can figure it out. It's pretty straightforward.
And generally, Kodi is actively developed, and that's why there's those different versions of it. But I mean, ideally, you want to use the most recent stable version, I think, is a general recommendation. I mean, you can always download the cutting edge code, beta, or what have you. But for the most foolproof experience, go with the release code. I've always found it to work without issue. I've never come across a bug that's adversely affected me. Only when I was using beta versions of OpenElec as well, only the beta process ever had me encounter a significant issue. So, again, good stability there, folks, with the production of Kodi.
All right, well, after installing the repository, I'm going to back out of this by pressing the escape key. It'll bring me back to the main menu. And now I need to click on Systems and Settings. Oops. There's a spot where my directions were incorrect. Click on add name called training. Here you have to select which version of Kodi you have, and I have Isengard. Let's select that. Doesn't look right. Something doesn't look right.
Repositories.
Uh,
Wait, no, cancel that, I bet. You already added the repository, so probably
install from repository.
Yeah, and then select, there you go.
Actually, I think it did that because the repository is already installed with a different name. If I didn't, I'm pretty sure if I didn't have it installed already, when I click here, it would install the repository.
You are correct.
But it's already installed. Okay, install from zip. Select your there's your zip. So basically, the first step where you set up the link just downloads the zip file, then you have to come back and install it. All right, now that the repository is installed, we can start using it. I'm going to back out with the escape key.
Notice how easy all of this is. It's all done from the interface. If you were doing this on a, if you had this connected to one of those mini PCs like what we were talking about, connected to your TV, you would be using a remote to do this, and there's an on-screen keyboard which will come up so you can type in things like the repo. To mention that.
Make sure you purchase a remote for those things. So
Yeah. If you don't, if it doesn't come with one, you need to purchase one, and a receiver if necessary, USB or otherwise, to communicate.
There's also an app for smartphones.
Or a Bluetooth remote is a good idea too. Oh yeah, any smartphone, you're absolutely right, Proctor. Any smartphone, you can get an app for iOS as well as Android that will act just like a remote. So I guess you don't have to invest in anything else if you really wanted to save a couple bucks. But the remote experience is a lot nicer, I must say. So I recommend it.
From the system menu, to add on add-ons from the repository, click on From Repository. On Super Repo. It'll browse through some of the video options. I
found you had to click the little scroll bar and scroll up and down if you didn't use the arrow keys.
Oh yeah, I'm just looking at my notes. I've lost my tab.
Oh.
One channel is one of the add-ons that was recommended. Here you can find lots of streaming movies and television shows. I've already installed it, as well as some other add-ons. And you can scroll through here and see there's quite a bit of content.
Just always always follow the appropriate copyright laws in your particular region for this material, of course.
All right, I'm going to go out and actually show you how to use the one channel add-on that I've added. Escape out twice. I'm going to scroll back over to videos. From videos, go down to add-ons. Added one channel 1. So other things that I added were Disney Junior. If you have kids, it's a good channel for your kids, and Sprout, also another good channel for your kids.
All of those free and
yeah,
legal?
I'm not sure about if they're legal or not, but they are free.
Okay, yeah. So we need to maybe avoid discussing the tools that aren't, but there's a lot of legitimate, like everything else, just like torrents. There's a lot of legitimate uses for it.
It doesn't exactly tell you if it's free or not, or if it's legitimate or not.
No, these things won't, unfortunately. So you do have to again research your applicable law. So just again a warning. Do not follow these instructions and access this content without researching whether or not it's legal. Now, one channel I believe actually is, but you need to research it, Google it, and see.
Or being connected to a VPN like we talked about earlier, and other shows.
Mm-hmm.
One channel I found that you can actually find a lot of recent and popular television shows. On TV shows. It's the one. A show that I'm watching currently is Blacklist, and it comes on today. It's currently in season 3. This is the episode from last week, and if I click on it, it'll play the episode. You have to select where it's streaming from. Would be logical that the one with the most views is probably going to be the best operating one. I'll select that. And here we go. I almost missed this episode. I thought I'd forgot to DVR it last week, but I did DVR it. Was able to watch it, but if I'd missed it, I could watch it here on one channel. I have found that a lot of shows that are listed, the streams will not play. The stream probably isn't available anymore.
Yeah, let's do a HBO show. Try The Leftovers.
The Leftovers?
Yeah.
There you go. Season 1 and Season 2. See if we can watch the most recent show of that. Looks like that one's not going to play for me.
Okay. Proctor, hey, let's okay. So right now, this is a matter of a legal loophole, essentially, and what that means is that you're not actually transferring the file from these people. They're streaming it to you, and I just
that's why those ones that don't work is because they've been taken down.
yeah. So this is not the exact thing you want to be promoting. There are, like I said, legal use. Okay, so listen, how Kodi was intended to be used is that you have your own video library of stuff you may have purchased or however you obtained it, and then you stream that internally, to watch over your network. At least that's how I originally used it. Now there can be add-ons, and there's a whole bunch of free add-ons for it that are already included from the official repositories, which have a completely free content that's available.
Undertaker wants us to find porn. I'm sorry, Pawn.
Okay,
Pawn
so
channel.
yeah,
Like
so
Pawn Stars. I'm imagining that's what he's talking about.
so. But my point is that we're not condoning, promoting, or stating or suggesting that this is legal to access some of these things, and you do need to do, as I stated before, your research to determine its legality for you. But in most cases, as you saw, those are shows that in most cases I can guarantee that it's not. Okay, and so I sincerely. Legally, you have to not access those types of.
Yeah, and I've talked with Michael about this because he thought there was no issue with doing it. But basically,
whoa! I know
legal,
what I said and what I thought and joked
about
about last night is not. There's no bearing on anything.
The legal issue is the loophole here is basically with torrents. The reason that they can go after you for sharing torrent files is because you're forced to share with other users as you download. So you are distributing the content. The copyright people are only able to really go after the distributors of the content right now. So if you're on a torrent
that's not
file,
because the laws say they can't. Okay.
Yeah, it is. It's not illegal to just watch something. And that's the point here, is that this material isn't, you're not distributing it, and the ones that they're going after are the people hosting those sites, which are the various places that are linked there. And what I was telling Michael is that those are not, basically it's a loophole right now, and you can be assured that they're going to end up closing that loophole, because they're not going to continually go after all of these sites, because those people can just set up another server somewhere else, and these people will just have to continue shutting them down. The only way that you stop a trend like this of the streaming and this pirated form is to go after the end users. So they're going to eventually close this loophole. So that's what my take on it is. Still not do it, because you're stealing content from people and they can't make more of your TV shows that you love and things like that. So you should buy Hulu and pay for cable subscriptions and things of that nature. Oh my God, they have Fox News on there. Steal that all you want.
This is the Kodi repository.
Excellent, excellent. So all this stuff is free. So what he's showing you in here is free and safe and legal, and you don't have any problems. The only downside to some of this stuff, though, is you do have to understand that it's international content, some of it. So like the .fi might not potentially
that's
could
not
be.
always true either. The legality of this is also another loophole here, because you're not watching it on the site, and the site is where these people make their advertising money. So more than likely, once they find out that they're on here, they're going to be requesting to be taken off.
Well, as long as they remain on here, though. But there are legitimate ones up here that specifically allow this type of content. I would advise you, though, to stick with this list and let the lawyers work it out on the other end and update the list, and the list gets updated.
I mean, this list is just the same as the other list, honestly.
It should not be. It should be stuff.
Same exact list. Like watching South Park, I can guarantee you that they do not let you watch it without being on their site.
Look. The
YouTube
supported
gets
countries are the
taken
ones
down
that can view
all the
videos
time.
from. Look. It streams it from your local one, so unless you can actually stream it from the site legally, you can't view it. Do you see? That's how they get.
On the unofficial player, the legal unofficial player.
Okay.
Well, the disclaimer says some parts of this add-on may not be legal in your country of residence.
Yeah,
Please check with your local laws before installing.
Same exact thing.
Okay, so all right, then forget it.
You got a lot to learn about legal loopholes, Michael. I'm so concerned with privacy.
Well, listen.
TED Talks. You can watch that.
TED Talks is free. Yes, TED Talks is completely legal and free. Yes. Install. Oh, thank God we found one. Oh, thank God. Okay, so the one and only one you want to look for in this list. Please disregard everything else you've seen today.
Again, we're broadcasting to a world audience, and also this is just knowledge. Knowledge is power. You want to know more about these things, and knowing about these sites is also how they do some advertising as well. So once it gets taken out, these people will go to their site and watch these things. So it's kind of a win-win for them both ways.
Anyway, yeah, you can do this in your browser as well, of course. You don't need this, but it's nice to have the ability to watch the TED videos, for instance, on your big screen TV that you may not have immediately attached to your desktop or laptop at home.
Yeah, and this is the primary reason why Boxy just went and sold out to Samsung, is so they didn't have to deal with all these legalities and loopholes and things. They just gave it to Samsung, and Samsung deals with it with their massive departments of lawyers and buyers for programming. So
yeah. But that being said, go ahead and continue, Proctor. Yes, this is all theoretical. It's all theoretical.
And you can also use a VPN to further protect your privacy. And
that sounds so. The law, and this is how you get around the law. No. We're not condoning.
That's not getting around the law. That's a legal thing. You can VPN from a different country.
That's protecting your privacy.
That's how the internet works.
You can
appear to be surfing from somewhere else.
I understand, but you should not use that as a means to circumvent your local laws.
It's not technically circumventing. Maybe you just want to be Welsh for a day.
Yes, but I can be Welsh and not break any laws. Welsh laws or American laws or any other laws that I may be subject to.
Well, if you're Welsh, then you can't break any Welsh laws.
Well,
but if you're American,
Jesus Christ,
it doesn't matter. You can't break American laws.
No, it matters both, because you need to abide by, again, all the laws that pertain to you and your activity. So potentially you're doing something on a Welsh server means that you're subject to Welsh law as well as American law, I think. So, I'm not a lawyer. By the way, none of us are lawyers, so don't take any of this as legal representation or advice.
Anal.
What does that mean?
I am not a lawyer.
Oh.
Anal.
Okay, folks. So you heard that here first. I hope.
No, you can hear it a lot on DEF CON talks. They talk about it all the time.
Okay. All right. Okay, he made me say it.
They don't say it like that. That's how I pronounce it.
Oh, geez, it's you! Oh no, God! You see what he just done, folks? Oh, gosh, darn it.
They say like IANAL.
Okay, so even Kodi.
But it spells out IANAL.
Kodi also promotes DEF CON. So anyway, it's a good community of developers.
Kodi doesn't promote DEF CON.
They were just.
Now you're
DEF
going to get
CON was promoting Kodi.
DEF CON people.
DEF CON was
No,
promoting Kodi.
no,
Well,
they
you just
weren't.
mentioned Kodi. They just
When
mentioned it.
did-
Scrolled across to the
when?
bottom. It scrolled across on the bottom just there. You have to wait for it to repeat now, but it scrolled
said
across to the
DEF
bottom. It did too. Look at the Kodi screen. I'm watching Proctor's Kodi screen, and if you just wait here, okay, got to the end, and it'll restart now. Now you got to wait till it gets to this first part about some other stuff, but eventually you will see something a reference to DEF CON.
Subpedia? That sounds a lot like subpoena.
Jesus. Are you all children today? I guess. Okay. Recently? Okay, no. These are just recently updated add-ons. Come on. It's so long. Wait.
Oh, you can use OneDrive with it.
Yeah, we got that.
All right. Well, the video streaming.
Okay, here we go. This is the final. Okay, so now it's the updates. There it is, DevCon. DevCon is what I.
Okay, so they added the DEF CON live blog
No,
to
DevCon. I'm sorry, I misread it. Yeah.
DEF CON. So see, you can't be bridging those two gaps. That's the people that we don't want to make upset. So.
Okay.
Sorry,
My
DEF CON
apologies.
or any DEF
My
CON
apologies.
watchers. Feel free to out Michael's privacy. If you
Oh
want to
Jesus, no!
defend.
I'm not
Please,
against you guys in any way. I just
do
thought
not-
I thought I saw a
not
reference
take
to you
it out
guys.
on us.
I did
Bush
not.
IT has very little to do with Michael, so
I don't.
especially in these matters.
Oh Jesus! Oh my!
A lot of the times we do not endorse anything he says. So
Okay, I'm sorry. I misread something. My apologies.
Proctor, I would like to point out that you can do pictures, so like viewing your photos online, or if you took a cool photo thing from your last vacation, you can make your family sit around and watch it and wish that they were there. You can add on network drives, so if you have them hosted on your network on a NAS server or on a USB drive, you can plug into this directly. So there's several different ways you can do that. They can even be set up as screensavers, and yeah, it looks like I got some add-ons and things for that, so you can check out pictures from other places. Again, I would check into the legalities of some of those things. Like that one is probably okay.
Oh, and Cheeseburger Network. What's Cheeseburger Network? All your funny in one place. Cheeseburger.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably an easy way you can tell if it's worth it is if it's using a online storage, or if you check the author and it relates to the author of whatever content it is. So Rick Phillips, obviously not affiliated with Google. Google has a tendency of putting Google on their stuff. So yeah, that's it is more for a local media system, or you can use it with cloud systems. Same thing for music and movies that you own or download through legal means, of course. And I don't know if it does radio or not. That would be pretty cool. It probably does some internet radio. You have sign-ins for those kind of things. I would be wary as well, though, because remember, these are not paid developers, and they could just be harvesting all of your cloud storage logins. So keep that kind of stuff in mind too. So, yeah,
There was a Netflix add-on for it as well.
Yeah. So perfect way to share your Netflix password with some.
Yeah, it's not the official Netflix add-on either.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where these kind of things kind of get a little bit dangerous, and I would just stay away from the add-ons. Honestly, it's a very nice, well-rounded media box. So if you have pictures,
Without
movies,
the add-ons,
TV shows that you have on your computer, you can freely play them through there.
Which would be nice if you had some legitimate content, like a trailer or something like that, that you could play for us. Already downloaded, Proctor, but that's fine.
Yeah, I don't have any content on this virtual machine at all.
Listen to the guy that couldn't even get it installed when it was his turn to host.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's because I wanted to show the Linux version of it and the boot right into it and show you how fast it boots and give you an idea even on a virtual machine, but that turned out to be a little bit more difficult than I anticipated.
Well, we
Should
can
have
go
had
ahead.
a Linux virtual machine already set up. Well, what?
Because I have it set up and I test things before I say I'm going to do them.
Oh, well, okay. Well, my
Proctor,
apologies, folks. Well, thank you, but you're
sharing your screen here. I'll
yeah. Well, if you want to go ahead,
my
and,
Raspberry Pi set up here.
please, because I want to see that. And you did get OpenElec, the distribution on there, correct?
I got two different ones, and one that looks even nicer than OpenElec.
What's the nicer? It's Kodi. I mean, it looks like
see.
Kodi. Oh, you mean you got an alternative to Kodi? I see.
Yeah, you'll see. So this is what we're going to be working with. I have to move my camera around, so you're not going to be able to, it's going to be a little bit hokey because it's going through my HDMI cable. I can't just share my screen. But this is my Raspberry Pi. Basically, all you need to run it is SD card, power source, HDMI cable, and network cord. And then keyboard and mouse, like I mentioned earlier in past shows, this Logitech all-in-one adapter, unifying adapter, I think is what they call it. It's pretty sweet, low profile, connects my mouse and keyboard. Haven't had any issues setting it up like that at all. So right now it's actually powered off. I know it still had power going to it, but that's how it works. So I am going to plug it back in. That's all I have to do to turn it on. And it will boot up here. And this is a little hard to do here. So I used the noob installer. Oh man, that's so hard to watch my screen and then this at the same time. I used the noob installer, and that lets you install multiple OSs. This is the other alternative to OpenElec. I don't know if you saw that. It's OS.
There's no T in OpenElec, by the way, but okay. Yes.
OpenElec. Elec.
Yeah. Embedded Linux Entertainment Center.
Anyway, this one is OSMC, and it actually uses the same base as OpenElec, and it just looks a little bit nicer. I kind of like the way this one looks. But basically all your same features are there. You have your add-ons. You can go through and add all those crazy wonky add-ons if you wanted to do that. A little bit nicer for the Raspberry Pi because it had things like this, where you can get your Pi config. You can do your overclocking of your Pi.
Okay, so this is going to turn into a Pi advertisement versus a Kodi.
There's some other things with it. I mean, that's what the Pi is made for, these single setup devices.
Yeah, that is nice.
I paid $35 for mine, where you paid $300 for yours. One thing otherwise I did notice is under, nope, not under here. Under one of the settings here, ooh, you can do some more advanced ones. I didn't even see that point before.
Nice.
You got a whole lot more control over it, it looks like. I feel like. One thing I didn't notice was the VPN style connection, so that was a little bit weird. Let's go back here. Again, sorry for my horrible hand-eye coordination here. Yeah, so it's got ZeroConf and AirPlay, SMB client so you can connect to your Windows systems.
Yeah, Kodi has all this as well, but just FYI.
No, I know that. You can even set it to the same OpenElec style. I just don't see how you get to that.
No
Here.
worries. No worries.
When you first set it up, it gives you the option to choose this nice, pretty interface versus that old, ugly, dull interface. Maybe I could do it with the profile. That is one thing I don't like about these, is it is definitely not your super easy, does everything for you stuff. Like, you do have to have a little bit of technical knowledge to get through some of these things. That's kind of a pain, and that's where buying those other services are a little bit nicer because they just do things for you.
Kodi, the only thing I had to do to set up Kodi is put in my network password on my local network so it could access the shares, and that was all that was necessary for me to stream my content. It indexed all my content.
You had to have shares, you had to add those directories.
You have to add shares and add the
the
directories.
setup
What do you
for
mean? No, what do you mean? No, there was no
I
setup.
just told you.
It was just adding. That was just saying, where the location of your music was, or your music, your movies rather.
You can see some
I
of
have
the
to get a phone call.
cool
Excuse me.
things. Good. Now you won't be interrupting us.
So
They have
rude.
an app store in this one. I'm rude, he says. Jerk. It's got SSH, so I was thinking I could set up I could set up VNC and do this by sharing my screen, but I didn't have time to check that out. I'm trying to find the dang Bluetooth settings, because there was a place where I could set up Bluetooth. I can't find it now. Anyway, that's that one. It is pretty much the same thing. It's just a different flavor. It looks different, looks cooler. It's nicer, smoother. It does have a few more settings, and OpenElec has a couple other settings. We are going to reboot right now, though, and I'll show you the OpenElec that Michael failed to show you before. Oh, it's so hard to do things backwards when you're looking at it. So this is the OpenElec, and basically it's what Proctor had. It's a single-purpose device, so I could just have just that on my Raspberry Pi, and it would just boot straight into this, just as fast, same exact thing. I can add that repository, do all that stuff. Like I said, the one thing I did notice, where are the network controls?
What are you looking for, Brantley?
The hardware stuff so that I can get into the... There we go. This is what I was looking for. So in this one, you can add wireless networks. So you can connect to I can connect wireless and then not even need it connected to a cable. Obviously, if you're streaming music and movies over your wireless, it's going to be much slower than just using the wired interface. This was another thing that wasn't in that other one, or that I could find easily, is the virtual private network. So you can add your VPN connection, either a OpenVPN or a PPTP option. So that was one big difference that I saw between this one and the other one, but they're basically both about the same. That was what I was looking for, was the Bluetooth on the other one. since this is a whole OS, the hardware support is a little bit different. OpenElec doesn't detect my Bluetooth adapter that is in there, but the other one, OSMC, does detect my Bluetooth adapter. So I gain a Bluetooth adapter, lose VPN support, different things for different stuff, I guess. But it is basically the same. I actually have my shared drive hooked up to it, and I guess we could go ahead and show you how to do that. To do that, you'd go back to System, File Manager. Nope, not File Manager. Settings, maybe. Video, maybe. Library, maybe. Nope.
Can't you do it straight from videos?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, so you can add your network drive like this, and basically you just come over to add, or you can browse. We're just going to put in a test name, and then you can either browse your network, or you can type in the address, whichever one you want to do. Then you have to add the network share, which you already have set up on your network, and then you can scan it, and it'll have all kinds of things in there. So, good stuff like that. It is a fairly nice device. It works okay. I am probably not going to be using it because obviously I have to hook it up to my monitor. Not that convenient for me. And I have some other things I'd rather do with this Raspberry Pi. So I do want to point out, since we're over here looking at this stuff, I have a Divico, DVICO, and basically what this box is it's pretty neat. Flip it around here. You can see all of those connections that I get with it. Let's see if we can get it into the light. I don't need any of these. So this is really nice because what this does is you see all these connections you can have for it. So various different ways to hook it up, attach it. You saw I had the optical in, audio, or optical out for audio, HDMI. It's got a standard power supply power cord, so like any laptop you can almost find, it will have the other end of that. You can just plug it straight in, so really easy to deal with. You can add stuff in via network. You can add in other stuff via USB, composite, all kinds of nice options there. But what makes this different from that other one, and what we were just looking at, gotta look at this other side here, is that this is just a straight up SATA drive. So I can put in whatever hard drive I want in there, have it all filled up with music, movies, pictures, and then I can take this little box with me, go wherever I need to go, hook it up with almost any of the connections you would have on a TV, and be able to watch movies, music, look at pictures with my friend with that. So I really like that device. I use that quite a bit actually when I go out and about traveling or to hang out with friends. When I went camping at my friend's cabin, they didn't have cable or TV or anything there, so that came in real handy. We were able to watch some movies and relax when it was cold outside, so that was pretty nice. But yeah, lots of different ways to get videos, music, TV, pictures, those kind of things, and watch them. Maybe in another show we'll go over backing up DVDs that you own personally and how to do this. That's totally legit. We probably won't get into backing up games because I don't think any of us own consoles, unless Proctor, do you own consoles?
No, haven't owned a console since the original Nintendo NES.
I forget that I have my keyboard and mouse plugged into the Pi still. There. All right. Now we're back and ready
Can I
for action.
interrupt for 1 second? Sorry. This is just probably easier, but the next guy that purchases D72 subscription for Tank and Johnny, if you see that one come in, it's going to be a migration from an existing account. So make sure that you migrate it and don't just leave them with the new AutoGen credentials. Does that make sense, guys? Tank and Johnny, if you're there.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thanks. All right. Sorry to interrupt. Go back to what you're talking about.
You weren't sorry at all.
No, that was another sale. I know I'm not sorry. I shouldn't be sorry. This is another annual subscription sale that we're doing, and
We're never sorry to interrupt. You just interrupt anyway. So.
I try.
So yeah, that is
sorry.
that.
I am sorry.
Undertaker, sorry I didn't see your chat there earlier. I was a little distracted having to use a mobile camera and stuff. That's more difficult.
It was awesome, though. It was awesome. It worked out pretty well, from my perspective, at least.
And he said, smile, tomorrow's Friday, come on in, the weather's fine, assuming he was talking to Johnny, finally joining the live chat there. So, yeah, tomorrow is Friday, and we're probably about to wrap up this show, unless, Proctor, do you have anything else you wanted to go over? Michael, Tank, Johnny, anything else you want to go over?
Nothing right now.
No. I'm good.
Yeah, you remember, there's always, guys, if you see something in the tickets that you think is unusual or that could be, shared or maybe representative of a recurring problem that people are having, it's always good to bring that up at the show. And I know that doesn't happen very often with our products because we're usually pretty good about getting to people and getting their issues resolved or not having issues at all, frankly. But
and
yeah.
remember, Michael is excluded from bringing him up. So,
yeah.
Being in the ticket system or weird or quirky or having problems, that's excluded.
Apparently, I'm the comedic portion of our show on a daily basis, other than on Tuesday. Actually, every day. But,
yeah. So yeah, that'll be. We'll have a show tomorrow then, I guess, at 6 p.m. For our Friday show. I'll be hosting, so it'll be awesome.
I'd like to think that all of our shows are awesome, and I particularly.
I didn't say they weren't. So
I found Tank's one very informative, and
I really enjoyed Tank's show yesterday. That was really good.
Oh,
and I
awesome.
like how I do like also how yours and Brantley's and mine have also played off of each other. So I think those are good as well, to watch. So everyone's is good, but Friday's a good way to end it, and we'll end it like we started, on a blast.
Okay. So I'm a little bit torn.
Friday.
Yeah. I'm a little bit torn on what I'm going to present tomorrow, so I'm going to do another secret sauce one, I think. I know last week I said that after playing around with the pies that I would want to show off what I did with them, but really I haven't done much with them. I have played around with that one that you saw there. I put Callie on it.
You got more than one? You got a few pies?
I have two.
Wow! Wow! Nice.
Well, one of them's going to be my Linux
He has
server.
a sweet tooth.
Yeah, for Raspberry.
Yeah, but what are you like our government? Why buy one when you could buy two at twice the price? I mean,
Yeah. But I have one that I'm going to use for my Linux server that's going to be stable and in production use for actual production. It's currently my SSH server, and I also have it running a local web server. And I have the
Ah,
LAN
SSH
turtle.
server. Nice. That goes right into what you were talking about.
I have the LAN turtle connected to it as well to play around with that some. The
Well,
other
you
one
don't.
there,
Well, yeah, that's, I guess, okay.
the other one there is my play around with one and just reload and reformat and find out what's out there and come up with other projects for. So far, I've loaded Kali Linux on it. I've used the Raspbian. I've used Pawn Pi, I think it's called, and set up Fruity Wi-Fi, which gives you kind of a custom-made Wi-Fi pineapple capabilities. So that was kind of cool. I set up the media centers to see how they would go, and did one more thing that we'll go ahead and show off here, since I don't think I'll be talking about the pies tomorrow. I got this nifty little thing for when I'm traveling. I can still play with the pies. It's a 7-inch monitor and portable keyboard. And since I'll be running Linux on them, because the Windows 10 for embedded is only for like programming Windows 10 devices, I won't be putting Windows 10 on there. But this little thing came with a travel bag and everything you need to set up a Pi and use a Pi. You only need one power adapter, which I can use that 2600 milliamp battery that has DC out to power this. And then this powers the Raspberry Pi, and then I can have a keyboard and mouse and speakers and a monitor and be able to use it out and about places. What I was really interested in, though, and why I went ahead and got this and kept it and didn't just return it to Amazon after I tested it, because I wanted to make sure it did do this, is it has a mini HDMI port. And what that means is this is actually a HDMI capable 1024 by 600 monitor or screen. So anything you can hook up HDMI, I can have it running on this tiny screen. So those small little compute sticks that we looked at on Tuesday with Michael, I could just plug right in here, and then I have a full-blown laptop I can play around with. I can use it for the Pi, obviously. I can even use it for that DivCo box. I can hook up the HDMI to this and play my movies, TV, and music straight through there. Lots and lots of things you can do with that. So I could easily set up like a in-car video system like that. Just various different things. So I really like that, and I'm excited to play around with it, especially when I'm traveling. I think tomorrow I will probably go over some of this Hack 5 gear that I have, since I've been talking about them a lot and have all this stuff, and we'll just go through some of the things that they can do and some of the penetration testing. And I got to play around with the Wi-Fi Pineapple at the Ohio Linux Fest, and that was pretty fun. And I got some other cool toys like the USB rubber ducky. It emulates a keyboard and can do all kinds of crazy things. The LAN turtle can do some interesting things. I recently got a port pilot, but we'll save all of this for tomorrow and go over that tomorrow. So make sure you join us tomorrow at 6 p.m. We will be here and ready to rock and roll. I don't know if you saw it, Tank. Undertaker said, great on the replay for watching your show yesterday.
Oh, awesome! Thank you. I didn't actually see that.
Yeah, and
Awesome.
I think I will be all right without the Storm Chaser camera stabilizer, but thank you for that option there, Undertaker. I don't find myself going mobile too many more times here, and maybe if I do, I'll get more practice out of doing it by hand. So, yeah, so I think we'll go over some Hack 5 field kick stuff tomorrow. That should be fun. See some of the penetration testing options and things, and we'll go from there. Yeah. Y'all have any input on that? You think it's a good idea? Will
Yeah.
be up to
Yeah,
the
that sounds
ultimate
sure.
potential?
That sounds very interesting.
Awesome. So yeah, that'll be our show tomorrow. Hopefully we'll have some more updates on the Crypto Prevent 8 and Kill 'Em All, and I think Nick will be joining us. I'm not sure if this is his Friday off or not tomorrow, so we'll find out about that tomorrow. But otherwise, we will see you tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join us at the www.foolishtech.com. You can join our live RSE. We hang out in there a lot. Otherwise, you can also check it out on foolishit.com/live. Both of them take you to the same place. You can join the IRC there, watch past episodes, watch our episode tomorrow at 6 p.m. And otherwise, have a great night, evening, afternoon, lunch, morning, wherever you are in the world.
Happy hour.
Happy hours. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. No, it really is
5 o'clock here.
It's 5 o'clock here.
I know. It's 5
It's
o'clock
5 o'clock.
somewhere.
Welcome to happy hour.
There was a funny skit on YouTube about that. Look that up if you're interested. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. I'm sure you'll be able to find it. It's a play on that stupid Carrie
Jimmy
show.
Buffett.
What?
Jimmy Buffett.
No, I was talking about a YouTube show that played a skit
Oh.
on it being 5 o'clock. Like they were in a bar and they're like the girl, they're like, let's order drinks, and one of the girls is like, yeah, it's 5 o'clock somewhere, and the other girl's like, no, it's 5 o'clock here. And she's like, I know, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. She's like, no, that's not what that saying means. You say that when it's not 5 o'clock so that you can act like it's 5 o'clock and do drinking or whatever. And she's like, no, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. And she's like, I know, it's 5 o'clock here. And she's like, all right, well,
We got
in
it.
New York and New Jersey, it's 5 o'clock. So it's 5 o'clock there somewhere. Did you get it?
Yeah.
You got it? Awesome. Look it up on YouTube. They do it even better, and like they got skits and backgrounds and stuff. So, all right, we will leave it on that. Goodbye, internet. Thanks for watching and joining in on the chat, Undertaker. Y'all have a great night.